Hi Hermes lovers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya and I also love Hermes. In this video we'll be talking about the Elusive Constance bag and the biggest controversy if it's a quota bag or not. I get this question 10 or 15 times a day. Tanya, is Constance a quota bag? Can I get a Constance? Can I get a Constance without an appointment? Do I need to put Constance on my wish list? Constance is such a difference in between quota and non-quota, sometimes quota, sometimes non-quota bag, that there is no simple answer to that. It definitely requires getting deep with Hermes terminology and Hermes rules. So if you're interested if Constance is a quota bag or not, then watch this video, it's for you. And before we get deep into the Hermes world, I wanted to thank my followers on Instagram for contributing to my knowledge and for speaking out if Constance is or is not a quota bag in your home country, for sharing their experiences with me. I'm very grateful so I can share this knowledge with all of you. Okay, so back to the Elusive Constance. Generally, it is not a quota bag. In some countries, it is a quota bag, but Constance is very elusive, and even in the countries that it is not a quota bag, sometimes it is either treated like one or it will affect your purchase history like one. What do I mean by that? So I mean that if you get a Constance, usually it carries a much heavier weight than non-quota bags, even if the Constance is not a quota bag in your country or at your store. If you get a Constance and let's say you really wanted a Birkin, most likely the Constance will delay your Birkin because Constance is a very nice bag and the sales associate will most likely choose priority to people that have not gotten any bags or have not gotten a Constance, if you know what I mean. Alright, so the reason why Constance is so controversial is because last year it was actually considered a quota bag in many countries and then it came off of the list of the quota bags, like for example in the UK and in Europe. I know for a fact that in the UK Constance was considered a quota bag, and as of a few months ago or maybe this year, I believe Constance is no longer a quota bag. So technically in the UK you don't need to put in a wish for the Constance, you can just walk in and ask if they have the Constance bag. Now technically in Europe Constance is not considered a quota in most countries. In Germany it's not considered a quota, in some other countries, in most European countries it is not considered a quota bag. I have heard that in Spain it is, and I know that Switzerland is not a part of the European Union, but I have heard that Constance is considered a quota bag in Switzerland. I know that hard Hermes countries such as United Arab Emirates, pretty much all Asia, Australia, Constance is considered a quota bag there, and you do need to make a wish for Constance and it will eat your quota for sure. In the US, I feel like Constance is officially not a quota bag, although in some stores I'll tell you it is a quota bag, and then in other stores they will treat Constance, like I was saying, almost like a quota bag. So if you are given a Constance, it is a much better offer than any of the non-quota bags, especially if you're offered Constance 18. You kind of go in the back burner for your sales associate in terms of other bags, unless obviously you're a VIP and you're spending like so much money. Those rules don't apply to you. So yeah, it's definitely a gray area still, and there is still so much controversy. I do know that in France it is not considered a quota bag, so some people that have gone to Paris were able to score Constances and really good ones. Now if the Constance is an exotic or if the Constance is a limited edition, most likely it will be considered a quota. I know if it is an exotic leather, then Constance is considered a quota bag pretty much everywhere. I'm not sure about Europe and the UK, but I know in the US it is. In most Latin American countries, Constance is considered a quota bag as well. So it is still very much a great debatable area if Constance is a quota bag or not. In some countries, like I mentioned, the UK and Germany, it's confirmed that it is not a quota bag, and Constances are being given out more and more to probably locals, less so tourists, but also yes to tourists. In the US, it's sort of like flip a coin. If you're in a competitive store, it's going to be considered a quota bag, and if you're not in a competitive store, then maybe it's not going to be considered a quota bag. But regardless, still be very careful of the treatment of Constance, because if you do decide to get the Constance, most likely in all countries, unless some special circumstances apply to you, it will delay your quota bag. Let me know if you have any more questions about the Constance. I know that it's quite complicated and very gray, and there is no simple yes or no answer. So if you have any more questions, please ask them in the comments, or if you have any other insight on the Elusive Constance bag, please share with us. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, because in my Insta stories we have these discussions daily. As always, with love.